At what point will you declare victory?
When there's victory. If there's victory, I think we'll have victory. I think the polls are, suppression polls, and I think we'll have victory, but only when there's victory. I mean, there's no reason to play games.
Huh.
President Trump, in an interview with Fox News this morning.
I can understand why. I mean, his schedule has been absolutely remarkable
brutal
over the past week or so, just like 4 years ago. But you can tell he's really exhausted after quite a run.
So with that answer, amid the reports that he may try to falsely claim victory before all the votes are in, whatever happens tonight, one thing we are very unlikely to get is a concession speech from the losing candidate, a speech that is possibly the most important part of this country's peaceful transfer of power.
One of the great features of America is that we have political contests, that they are very hard fought, as this one is hard fought. And once the decision is made, we unite behind the man who was elected.
I have no bitterness, no rancor at all. I say to the president as a fellow politician that he did a wonderful job.
Mr. Nixon has won. The democratic process has worked its will. So now let's get on with the urgent task of uniting our country.
Congratulations on your victory. I hope that in the next 4 years, you will lead us to a time of peace abroad and justice at home. You have my full support in such efforts.
The president asked me to tell you that he telephoned President-elect Carter a short time ago and congratulated him on his victory.
The people of the United States have made their choice, and of course I accept that decision.
He has won. We are all Americans. He is our president, and we honor him tonight.
He will be our president, and we'll work with him. This nation faces major challenges ahead, and we must work together.
There is important work to be done, and America must always come first. So we will get behind this new president and wish him well.
I have said repeatedly in this campaign that the president is my opponent, not my enemy, and I wish him well, and I pledge my support.
This is America. Just as we fight hard when the stakes are high, we close ranks and come together when the contest is done.
But in an American election, there are no losers. Because whether or not our candidates are successful, the next morning, we all wake up as Americans.
Whatever our differences, we are fellow Americans. And please believe me when I say, no association has ever meant more to me than that.
I so wish that I had been able to fulfill your hopes to lead the country in a different direction, but the nation chose another leader, and so Ann and I join with you to earnestly pray for him and for this great nation.
We must accept this result and then look to the future. Our constitutional democracy enshrines the peaceful transfer of power, and we don't just respect that, we cherish it.
You know, it's really just heartbreaking moments there for anybody, Republican or a Democrat. Heartbreaking moments, and yet moments that I think more aptly get to the heart of American greatness, of the power of democracy, the strength of democracy, that when somebody loses in probably the most heartbreaking professional moment of their career, they step back and they salute the winner and they urge their followers to move forward with a peaceful transfer of power. Willie, heartbreaking moments there. You look at Nixon in '60, who conceded the race despite the fact he and his team believed that Kennedy had stolen Illinois. We, of course, asked Pat Buchanan one time why they didn't contest it, and he said, "'Cause we stole Kentucky Joe." But Humphrey in '68, the pain of losing that sort of race, Ford in '76, and other close race. Jimmy Carter, who had given his all and made some accomplished great things on the international stage, heartbroken in 1980 for good reason. And then, yeah, you, of course, I mean, I just wrote this quote down. George H.W. Bush, how blessed this country has been to have leaders like George H.W. Bush. America must always come first. Al Gore in 2000 was stiff and wooden through the entire campaign, and yet he spoke like an American Cicero that night when he had to give the most painful speech of his life. But you could tell he was strengthened in his resolve because of how much he loved America, because of how much he loved this country. In the most heartbreaking of circumstances, you could say the same thing about Mitt Romney in 2012 and, of course, Hillary Clinton in 2016. It is actually it's one of the key markers of this democracy's strength, of this constitutional republic. And we pray to God that we will see it either tonight or in the coming days from whichever one of these candidates is not successful in their attempt to be elected president.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.